Welcome and hello and welcome and hello. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining me on a very special, very pressing, very urgent, panicked, frenzied edition of Un Poco Mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. They call me Little Danny Cornbread DiCarlo because I am moist, doughy, and I crumble under pressure. They call me the tugboat because I'm short in stature. I pull more than my own weight, and I'm rarely far from my home port. They call me Stubby Cohiba due to an unfortunate manscaping accident I suffered with a Vitamix blender back in the late 1970s outside of Coral Gables, Florida. So now anywhere in South Florida, they call me Stubby Cohiba. That's just a reminder to all the kids out there: do not do any type of manscaping with a blender. Very, very dangerous. No safety, no guards, no regulations, and there's nothing to fall back on. Who are you going to sue if you're dumb enough to stuff your genitals in a blender? Am I right? Or am I right? You PI lawyers out there, you might want to get a hold of that one because things aren't pretty. But anyway, welcome and hello, guys. It's Un Poco Mas. Enough. I don't know how everything always goes immediately to genitals, but it's kind of my sense of humor and my just being a complete idiot. But anyway, guys, I want to talk to you a little bit about what happened today on the markets and why. And, is it the beginning of the end? Is it just a blip? Is it going to be sort of there's a lot of in between just sort of a blip and a real full on correction. They say correction is 20%. I don't know. It's just definitional. It doesn't really matter. If it's 20% of your portfolio, you definitely are icing your huevos one way or another, whether it's 19% or 21%, it definitely, the chafing is the same. But so let's talk about it, guys. Let's talk about what do we got to do to get this thing up here. It doesn't really take a genius to look at the heat map and see what's happening today. It's not only a question of value, because you guys are the last several years, everybody's been talking about, the Magnificent Seven, the tech stocks, Nvidia. That's all that's been lifting the markets higher and higher and higher. And most other stocks have just been sort of behaving normally. But, some of the indexes are up just because there's these real high flyers out there. But a lot of people's portfolios, if you have sort of that balanced, not aggressive, old man in sandals and white socks type of, zinc oxide on your nose, all that type of portfolio. You've just been sort of spinning your wheels because I think the real economy is weakening. But you can see, what are people doing? They're fleeing to safety. What was up today? Healthcare stocks were up today. Industrial, and they weren't up much. I mean, they were just hanging on because money was basically flowing out. Panic money was flowing out of tech. And Walmart's up. Some of these consumer stocks are up. Consumer staples are up. Energy is mostly down, though Exxon is up. They must have had good earnings. Consumer discretionary, they lump Amazon in here, but really, Home Depot's up, McDonald's up, Lowe's up, Tesla down, Amazon down, Google even down, Meta down. That a lot of people are looking for sort of a dead cat bounce on Meta. Didn't come. Nvidia well down, Broadcom, AMD, everything in tech selling off, including Microsoft, back down below 500. Now, fintechs probably got hit some of the hardest of anybody. I think Hood was down. Sorry, guys, I have some water here. Sorry, been one of those days, just constant phone calls, people yelling at me and stuff. Everybody's losing money. They're angry. Yeah. But so SoFi down, I think about 9%. Upstart, they're all down 7-8%. I think PayPal was down 3-4%, but a little bit of recovery after the bell. But I was down almost $3 coming up a quarter, so that's really almost nothing. Couple just interesting things. Usually, as a rally dies and a stock starts to sell off, and this is probably accelerated because of the overall market. Now you see the shape of the daily is almost exactly the same on the S&P, the Dow, the NASDAQ, the Russell. It's the exact opposite of the VIX. And so it's the same as SoFi. So they're not singling out and manipulating, quote unquote, SoFi, but look at the beginning of the day. I mean, there's these two huge spikes up above 30.50. I think it went all the way up to like $30.80. So they're dragging in they're dragging in impressionable retail investors who are just chomping at the bit at the bell. And I wasn't buying here. I mean, I'm not going to, I was buying today, but I was buying first down around the 28 range, and then right at the end of the day, even a little bit lower. I just picked up like an extra 100 supplementary shares right at the end of the day. But over the course of post earnings, I think I've picked up, I don't know, maybe about 15,000 more shares. I'm probably an idiot, really raising my average. But here's the thing with me, guys. People say like you're a pumper, you're a trader, and I do trade calls and stuff, but I plan to keep SoFi, forever. And I believe Noto when he says he can make this a top 10 financial institution. And I believe some of the analysis that says you don't even see where this thing's going by as soon as 2030 because of all the wonderful things he does. Listen, the assumptions on CAGR are any like 16, 17%. The real growth is, double that. So the assumptions are completely off, I think, intentionally. And I think, Noto likes that to sort of be sandbagged not only by his internal team, but by the public, because obviously they want to beat, they want to impress, but it's getting harder and harder to do that. I think they're going to be giving more accurate guidance. And like, the thing is, to me, if you guide for 15 cents next quarter and miss by a penny, I'd rather see that than guide for 11 and get 12. You're like, oh, it's a beat. No, it's not. It's what matters is how much money you make, not whether you stroke my ego or my tender sensibilities. Like, I can't handle it if you miss by a penny. Give me what you think it's going to be. Give me accurate guidance. Okay, when we were young, we were children, we needed to be sandbagged, we needed to be, sent home with it's just like the Wall Street wants accurate guidance. And I'm not saying overshoot it, but you don't need to set up a huge beat every single quarter. Give us some guidance, raise the guidance for 2026. That's what the street wants. Give us guidance for 2027. They're really good at forecasting. But get aggressive. Get something you think you can actually hit. Motivate the team. Don't set the team up for easy wins. That really doesn't motivate anybody. And the growth rate didn't impress Mr. Market enough to move the stock one bit. Now it came into the ER, pre-market 31. So we've retraced, a little over 10% is 12%. It's not a huge big deal. That's how these things go. Like, a stock doesn't run just from 7 to 31 and then just keep going up forever. If you look at the rise of like Hood, Palantir, any of these stocks, there were little pullbacks all the time. That's how shares trade hands. That's how things are done. I don't really know what I'm talking about, whether things are done. What the hell am I saying? Couple of just data points if you're interested. I know some of you guys like to hear about the short interest. Somebody was asking me about the short interest on prop too. It was that big P90X dude, that big buff guy, always trying to impress everybody with his lats. Hey, have you guys seen me hit this lat pose yet? I'm like, yeah, we've seen it a few times, dude. Very impressive. Almost makes up for your tiny wing. No, I'm just kidding. Seems like a good guy. I just don't like people who are that fit. Just makes me angry. Anyway, so let's look at SoFi short interest, and we'll check in on the prop short interest a little bit later. Okay, we'll just get to it a little bit later. Just get to it when we can. Okay. Oh, I'm completely insane. I'm just batshit crazy. Oh my God, what's this filing? What the hell is this? September 30th. What the hell is this filing? Do I even want to know? Oh, the quarterly report's out. Wow. Okay. I don't have time. I'm going to read this thing, guys, but it's going to be a battle because I've got like super virulent ADHD mixed with stupidity. So I'm not going to go through the quarterly report on this broadcast because I would just have no chance to do it. I'll just wait, for Tanner and Tevez and Roy and the smart people, the smart Canadians and the fintech Canadian fintech mafia to dissect that bad boy. I'll watch their show and then I'll pretend I was able to do some analysis of my own, which of course I will not. No, but I will read it. I mean, I always read the quarterly reports. I read pretty much everything SoFi puts out. So the short today, they shorted another 727,000 shares, increased the short back up by 0.75%. Saw the borrowed change go up to 3.58 million shares. And I like, if you like, want to sound like an announcer, put like weird staccato vowel sounds in different places, or you sound like the one like the alien in Men in Black. Anyway, that's the there. So the interest of free float, short interest, it's sitting at 8.35%. 1.43 days to cover. Shares on loan again creeping down, not really showing me that they're going to push down. These, of course, this is just kind of my anecdotal observations of how these sort of metrics behave and stocks go up or down. It's absolutely no proof or guarantee that what I've seen in the past or my, what my very flawed, aging, decrepit synapses can discern is anything even remotely resembling the truth. Who the hell is this? I hope it's not a lurker. I hope it's not a lurker. For God's sake, be not a lurker. It's not a lurker. I'm so happy. It's Jay Money. He's probably walking through some beautiful, picturesque forest with some Labrador retriever just rubbing it in my face with his beautiful bald head. I am definitely not smart. Hey, hold on, guys. I got to run. I'll be right back. Hey, sorry about that, guys. I have to just run out front. I gotta drop something off for one of my contractors, but I don't know, some fancy bullshit circuit board. He needs to repair something. But so I'll have to take a quick break here in uno momento and just run downstairs from my palatial faux office complex. But if you guys want to wait around, you're more than welcome to. If you want to leave, you're more than welcome to do that. Entertain yourselves in the chat. But yeah, I got to take a break. I'll be back in literally, I think, about 90 seconds or 2 minutes. But again, I know there's a lot of programming out there that's superior to this. But you guys can talk to Not a Lurker. You can do whatever you want. If Not a Lurker wants to put himself on here, get a good look at his bald head, you can do that. But anyway, guys, apologies, but I'll be back in about 2 minutes and talk amongst yourselves. It's coffee talk. No big whoop. Thanks, guys. Sorry. Damn it. Now Naughty Lurker's taunting me. He is out on some kind of beautiful nature walk. And I'm sitting here just getting fatter and poorer by the minute. What are you going to do? Am I right? Am I right? But anyway, so I guess the question that you really need to think about is, do you flee to safety, as the heat map is indicating many of your peers are doing? Of course, returners don't really make up, the majority of the market. So institutions are obviously rotating. I just think in terms of Hood, they're obviously crushing it. I mean, their rule of 40 score is like 100 160 or something. And then in terms of some of these other fintechs, I don't even know if some of these guys are going to be around at the bell. Do you notice with this chart coming into the move with SoFi, just very, very organized, very orderly, small candles, small moves, you know, market makers are in complete control, down to the penny, down to the tick. And then right about, it starts to become a little less organized through here. And then right here, it just gets very, very odd. Just look at this price action, over the last, I don't know what date that is. Sorry, I can't see. Just look at the price action over the last month as compared to the whole history of the stock. It looks completely different, and volume is strong. um I think institutions realize this stock is a long-term winner, and this is a tech company, and it's going to get a tech multiple. Like, you got to think with SoFi, it doesn't matter, it's going to get kicked in the nuts either way. Like, banks are up today. If banks were down, SoFi'd be down. If tech's up, it just, whatever is dragging the market drags SoFi with it. It was like, you guys remember this stock from years ago, like the market would be down like a half a point, or like, flat, and SoFi would just drop like 7% for no reason. You just want to slam your head in a car door just because you own this turd. Um, but again, there's nothing I can do to say how far is it going to drop, where's the market going to go. Um, I don't feel too bad about this. Obviously, I would like it to hold, 26, because that's sort of the recent history where all these big giant candles, but it's kind of goes back to this. What happened on the 5th? What happened to that candle? Yahoo just missed that one. But it's just extremely unusual price action. And my thinking is, you know, institutions are just accumulating the stock for when they're going to push this thing up, like when they own 85% of it, like they did with the, I think Upshart at one point, and then Hood and Palantir. Institutions own these whole companies. Wall Street doesn't, build big, beautiful offices and, mansions in Connecticut and mistresses in Vegas by retail investors getting rich. They do it the opposite. They bleed you dry, whether it's fees or, your retirement, the points, your mortgage. You got a buy now, payday later on one of your testicles. You got a payday loan on your kidney. It's like, it's tough out there. It's almost like one of those movies where you're like turning in your life points or something, or like your time, you're like paying with your time. One of these wacky sci-fi movies. These sort of rip-offs of Blade Runner. These hacks are doing these days. Anyway, I don't know what this show's about. This show's stupid, but the bottom line is, I think SoFi just got dragged by the fintech sector, and they're like, okay, everybody's, it's not a tech company, but it sure it fell. It got that tech multiple on the fall. And why did I buy more today? I bought more today because the ER was stellar, and like I said, the CAGR assumptions are so flawed. Why do they think growth is going to slow that much when growth is actually accelerating? Now, yes, the economy's bad, the job numbers, everybody's worried. I think SoFi is going to fare better than other fintechs in rough seas. Why? I mean, if the economy gets bad, you're going to see rates fall. That's going to create a lot of, if the economy is booming, see, you have different parts of SoFi's businesses, different components that are going to do, better and worse in up and down markets. and they're able to hedge against those risks. How do you think SoFi turns in this incredibly like robotic, ridiculously stable growth quarter after quarter? It's like they beat 16 quarters in a row or something. I think they've only missed like once since going public, you know, aside from like one-time charges and write-downs and this type of thing. I mean, Steve made a great point that people freaked out over, the meta ER due to a one-time charge. Sorry, more nonsense. So the market just creates these disparities where the actual event or catalyst, the reaction of the price action of the market doesn't make a lot of sense. I think sometimes it's organic and it's just that's how it's perceived, and maybe I'm misperceiving it. My judgment is askew, just a bit askew. Or more often than that, I think it's psychological warfare on retail. That's really what it is. I mean, why do you think they push the stock? This isn't retail just coming in and buy. This didn't even happen at the bell. This is a double dip chocolate chip, and then you see these huge what's with these candles on here that don't register on the volume, like 19 million, 20? Is this just like block trades? So like, some kind of circle jerk where they're not actually, trading the share. I don't know how these work, but I keep seeing these pop up the last few days. Just some charting error. But volume's too strong, guys. Volume's too strong for this to die. And this is just my impression. I think the selling since that ER has been pre-programmed and artificial by KBW and others. And you kind of see them telegraphing this thing, where it's going to come back down. I talked about IOVA earlier, guys, by the way. If you didn't catch that video, please go check it out. But all of my videos are live, guys. I don't do any videos. So people are like, hey, you never do any videos. I'm clicking on your videos, clicking on your shorts. There's nothing. I'm like, dude, I'll write it and we'll do it live. We'll do it live. To paraphrase my godfather, the great Bill O'Reilly. Mr. Lufa, they call him. Because he sexually harasses his subordinates. Allegedly. I love that when he talked about that on his show. So funny. Where does SMCI find a bottom? Thanks. That's a great question. I got to do an SMCI show. I think I just did one, but yeah, SMCI is a toy on a string for the Mr. Market, the cat, to play with. They know it's a retail. When they know these stocks are retail darlings, they know they have you by the balls because they know you're going to respond to psychological warfare just like they want you to. You're going to chase that move up. You think, oh, it's running. I tell you over and over again, sell any calls on a pop on Tuesday, buy at the lows on Friday, because those are on these retail favorite weekly turd stocks. That's where you're going to make money. You're going to buy at the low Friday. It's going to be much higher at the pop on Tuesday. You're going to make a ton of money if you want to work those weeklies, but be disciplined and take your profit or take your loss or take your medicine. Either way, just don't hold the bag late in the week because they crush this stuff. And I was naive. I was like, the ER is too good. They can't push it down. They can't push it down that much, but they certainly got 12% out of my backside. My Axel Foley. I got a little bit of it left there. Anyway, if anybody interested in any of this crap, people just drinking beer and watching MMA. Oh, the intellectual capacity of the American public is pretty much empty set. Just nil. Absolute zero. Bunch of knuckle draggers. Oh, that's okay, guys. We are what we are. Bunch of big fat jerks. Anyway, what's this thing going to do tomorrow? Honestly, I have no idea. I mean, everybody's thinking it's just going to keep sliding, but I don't know. Fundamentally, earnings have been pretty strong across the board. I mean, you look at like Hood and SoFi, I mean, they both crushed earnings. I Hood especially, but the thing about it is I think people are uncomfortable with the multiple on Hood, not because it doesn't make sense in light of their recent earnings, but because their recent earnings, so much of it is based upon crypto, based upon trading. And I'll just point out something about durable competitive advantage and the way these companies do business, like Hood. And I know I compare a lot to Hood because I'm bitter and I got a tiny wing and I missed the boat and I missed the trick and I'm up shit creek without a paddle and a tiny wing and the whole thing. And I know what you guys are thinking, and it's enough. It's enough. Okay. Stop sneaking into the locker room trying to get an insider look at my OnlyFans content. It's not going to happen. Chubby Chaser Outlet .net.rack online markdown rack. So anyway, what was I talking about? SoFi, Hood, durable competitive advantage. It just Hood just does not strike. I say it all the time. SoFi savers versus Robinhood traders. I mean, one is going to get you rich quick, and the other is going to bring you stability and wealth over a long period of time. And I know it's like where SoFi is trying to, add features that Robinhood has. Robinhood is also trying to bring in features that SoFi. And I saw a big announcement about their mortgage deal that they're going to offer mortgage. But this is what I mean about the difference in the way they do things. They're going to offer it through an affiliate, Sage Mortgage, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Where what did SoFi do? SoFi saw a good young mortgage company with great tech that was in crisis and was probably they could get it for a fire sale price, so they integrate that company into SoFi. They bring it all in house, and that's what Anthony Noto's talking about with durable. Anybody can just go out and announce something and just make an agreement with an outside vendor. How is that going to be a durable competitive advantage for your company? Anybody can go to that vendor. Anybody can get a mortgage from them. And say, well, the way they have to do it is to give you, half a point, below what the loan would have been. There's all these conditions. I mean, trust me, you cannot just, you have to buy a quarter point. You can't just give people 3/4 of a point. There will be strings attached. I absolutely guarantee it. They're going to want your DNA. They're going to want to sell, your firstborn, send him to coding school. Just have his services for, like a 50-year indentured servitude. But I just don't buy it. I'd rather have you own the company. I'd rather have you integrate the technology. That's how I think you build durable competitive advantage. That's how I think you reduce costs. That's how I think you win. Sorry, guys. Say when the facts aren't on your side, fall back on the law. When the law is not on your side, just beat on the table. Oh, I'm a chunky stock monkey, but what are you going to do? Valuation. Here's what I think. Okay, not only are they getting the CAGR completely wrong, underestimating by accident by a wide margin. Just imagine their assumption is 17 and the real number is 25. And then imagine it's 30. Their CAGR assumption is off by, double. What does that do to, the price targets? What does that do to any of this information? Because I believe SoFi's growth is going to accelerate. I believe they're going to introduce new products that we don't know about yet. There's a reason they built this whole tech stack, this whole tech company. Why do you think they own all this technology? To be a boring, stodgy old bank and use an abacus and a slide rule and a freaking piece of graphing paper and just write everything down like they're, keeping records in some kind of opium den? Big Trouble in Little China? What's wrong with you guys? Where do you come up with this shit? You guys on drugs? Stupid? You on loopers, poppers, dippers? What you guys doing? Oh, God, my neck's making some weird sounds. Really weird, guys. Don't get old, I'm telling you. It's not all it's cracked up to be. You don't get any wiser. You don't get any perspective. You don't get any, maybe some people do, probably not a lurker, but me, everything just hurts. I get bitter. Just a bitter old jerk. No, not really. I'm okay. Let's see. Oh, it's not a lurker, the canine version. Yeah, that's a good looking pup. Oh, boo boo. Maybe a nice cardboard box in the city. Yeah, Katie, what's the rent on that? I'll take it. You need a roommate? You need a fat roommate? I'm a good cook, but I snore. I'll warn you. It's Chris moving to the woods of Maine. What are you guys talking about? You guys aren't that broke. Come on. What's the ticker for the cardboard box? It's CBX. CBX. Modular. We call it modular housing. No cost, low cost, and no cost modular housing. Anyway, let's see, guys. We go to. I live in Maine. Yeah, you're not going to do well on those elements, Katie. I don't know. Maybe you're of hardy stock. I have no idea. Maybe you're tough as nails. Probably people in Maine are pretty tough, I would guess. My Uncle Tony is going to keep the juice flowing in the wet and dry season. Yeah, I can't argue with you there. Chris Flo, Katie, you guys are having all kinds of talks. Big Num2 Industries. Hood is a Schwab or Morgan Stanley. I mean, could be, but can they? What is Schwab and Morgan Stanley's market caps? Big Number 2 Industries. I mean, Hood's market caps are like 130 billion. And if you're going to buy them out, you're going to have to pay a premium. What are they going to pay? $200 billion for an online brokerage and a guy with a freaking Pert Plus haircut? Vlad? God, I can't stand that fucker. Probably just because he's so smart and successful, and I'm just a big, fat, mediocre, suburban douche. Oh, well. Got to all stay in our lanes, am I right? What are you doing? Just mowing the lawn. Yeah. Another busy Saturday. Might head down to Home Depot, buy some fertilizer. What are you doing? I'm going to take my private jet and, get a nice haircut while I'm on the way and, run my fintech. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, so we're pretty much on the same page. Pretty much both movers and shakers. Pretty much both fit. We got great hair. We got a lot going on. I'm with you, Vlad. I'm with you. So anyway, yeah, I don't know. This is like if you guys just want to, puff yourself up and make yourself feel better. Stone Fox Capital, one of my favorite people on Seeking Alpha, good right. It's a good article. SoFi Technologies, rapid growth, strong results. We all know that 36% revenue growth, 49% adjusted EBITDA growth. That is really strong because adjusted EBITDA, it basically sort of foretells what's going to be happen with earnings as they scale their way out of certain expenses mattering as much, and they time their way out of certain expenses even existing. This is what I think people are really, really missing with SoFi is on the marginal returns, basically. I think I'm saying that right. I always say that wrong, but the incremental returns, like as they bring in more to the top of this 36% growth, you're going to see more and more of that go down to net profit because their fixed costs are basically taken care of now. So I know there's still cost. I know there's still development. I know they're still, working on all kinds of technology stuff. But my point is, as you add more and more members, more and more revenue, more and more products, there's very little cost, that SoFi has to incur. So more and more of that new revenue is going to flow to the bottom line. And I don't think people are prepared for how much of that revenue is going to flow to the bottom line. And that's being reinforced by, the increase in this high margin fee-based revenue. And there's no reason they can't just focus on building that business while still making a ton of money on interest income as a lender. They can walk and chew gum at the same time. Like, it's a negative. You're making all this money from lending. How? It actually empowers everything else we do because that's the backbone of our ecosystem is this banking and lending. That's the core. That's why people trust SoFi because they have these products in-house. You know what you're getting. You know when you call customer service, like if you call, if you have some issue with your mortgage with, Robinhood, are you going to be able to call Robinhood customer service, get that taken care of? You're going to have to call this other company and get that taken care of. What if there's a discrepancy? What if there's a problem? And if you guys have mortgages like I do, there's always problems. There's always paperwork errors, bunch of bullshit. Imagine this is going back and forth. Imagine you get into another, mortgage meltdown, another crisis. Who owns this thing? I'm just making these hyperbolic fear mongering stuff just because again, I'm bitter that I missed this giant Robinhood move. I had a few shares, but for the most part, far more committed, obviously, to SoFi. And I stand by my decision over the long term. I said SoFi can add back in crypto. SoFi can add back in level 1 options, but you can't go and start yourself off as a chartered bank. I mean, New is trying to do that, but they're new to the country. They're not just new, they're new to the country. So they applied for a bank. I don't know if they're going to get it. Quite frankly, it's going to be on the whims of the administration. It's not going to be based on any fundamental reasons by the book. But anyway, crypto initiatives, new product launches, margin expansion position SoFi for further upside. This margin expansion is really critical. With 2027 adjusted EBITDA targets making shares look undervalued, despite the sharp rally to 30, SoFi remains in the early growth stages with long-term potential to become a top 10 U.S. financial institution. The growth story continues nearly unabated. The Fintech has grown to a large digital bank with plenty of years of growth ahead, especially with the company is now just returning to crypto. My investment thesis remains ultra bullish on the stock, even trading at all-time highs near $30. Of course, you just got a nice pullback. So, it's people like, oh, what's the difference? You buy at 31, you buy at 26. It's a very significant difference. I mean, it really is over time. To buy a stock at 12% discount, if you do that consistently with things you buy, continue to try to be disciplined. But I'm not saying don't buy if you want to buy, just this thought. That's a fallacy. But if you're disciplined and you know how a stock behaves, like SoFi after earnings, it tends to sell off, and you're disciplined and you wait and you buy down near 27 instead of 31, over time, that's going to make a huge, huge difference in your portfolio. And think of that 12% head start. That's insane. I mean, most people don't make 12% in a year. They didn't used to. Now everybody wants to make 12% in a day. A tiny wing and a chip on your shoulder. Am I right? Am I right? Of course I'm right. Assuming you can see your willy past your guns. Otherwise, things are just a big mystery. But what was really going on at the house at the end of the cul-de-sac? Did the doctor hide a dark secret? All on Ketchamy Road. What's that guy's name? Stacy Keach? Unsolved Mysteries guy. That guy, Matthew Perry's stepfather? Who was that guy? Looks such a super nice guy when they're interviewing him after he passed away. Can't remember which guy he was, though. Anyway, I don't know how my mind... I don't know. Whatever connects the dots in my mind, it's a broken marker. It's like a kid, special needs, just coloring outside the lines. And that's how my brain was wired. Lucky me. Okay, this show's going nowhere fast. So I told P90X Buff Lat dude we'd take a look at the prop short interest. So let's go ahead and be a man of our word because it looks like he could kick all our asses. So we don't want to piss that guy off. Form 4 filed by Patent Gregory Scott. Let's see. Oh, lovely. Q3 EPS forecast lowered by analysts. Super. Let's just check the short interest so I don't forget. I keep teasing you with that one. It's up 2% today, but it's kind of like up off a floor. I mean, it's like if you're in a grave, you're buried alive, like in, Kill Bill or something. Like you can't really go down very much. There's no place to go. That's kind of, I think, where this thing is. But again, shorting it again today. So let's see, what is the actual short interest on it? So 28% of the free flow. It's not as high as it was. It was up to 33, but still pretty high. And then shares on loan, they definitely have a little bit of room to maneuver. They got quite a few shares on loan. Cost to borrow is pretty high at 10%, utilization 90%. So definitely a huge, not huge, because this is a penny stock, so it's not at all unusual to see a 30% short, because you can maneuver with this thing. There's all kinds of stuff that goes on, all kinds of shenanigans with these penny stocks, financing things, counterparties, the people who used to own it, who dumped all their shares. It's just all kinds of shenanigans. You'll see the people who own it. When everything shakes out, there's going to be some weird story about like why this stock was, pushed down, why this price action, took, why it happened this way. There always is. Like, penny stocks are not like by the book, fundamental, how many units you sell, what margins. It's like a story about, the owner got sick and then there's some financing arrangement. His divorce didn't work. And then they have to liquidate preferred shares and all this crazy stuff. And they couldn't get any money. So they got financing from some guys being investigated by the SEC. It's just it's like a soap opera more so than a documentary when you deal with these penny stocks. Oh, I see why you're confused, dear. However, that was not me having sex in that bedroom. It was my twin brother, Hector. You guys know I used to have a career in telenovelas. Always get caught sleeping with somebody and claim it was your twin brother. But I saw you. It has your name tattooed right on your buttock. No. My twin brother has my name tattooed on his ass also. Same tattoo. Anybody buying any of this? No. Yeah, no. Or we get caught cheating. Everybody got a twin brother all of a sudden. I didn't know you had an identical twin brother, Hector, with an identical matching ass tattoo. Oh, yes. And if I get caught again, I'll be triplets. Why not? You're so gullible, honey. Anyway, I guess if you're Latin, get away with a lot of stuff. Oh, telenovelas. I don't know why I know. COVID, man. I don't think I'd ever watched a telenovela until COVID. And then I was trying to like brush up on my Spanish. It's like, let's watch some of these. I'm like, by the end of the episode, I'm crying. I'm like, why, Hector? Why? Gabriella loves you. She's so sweet. Oh, I'm such a jerk. So my presidential lecture, yeah, I can Antiques Roadshow some stuff for you, and I love Pez, believe it or not. Body by Sugar. Let's see, Lurker. I'm selling everything and moving to the one. You guys are crazy. Let's see. I'm gonna go down here. Running Man was awesome in the 80s with Arnold. Yeah, that was badass. Payush, what's going on? Is Payush buying the dip? I don't know. I don't know where Payush gets all this funding. They own Payush owns 10,900 bitcoins worth several $1 trillion. That's pretty good. How many shares out of the 50 million? You got to tell people to hit the like button. I don't want people to like Mahir X54. Do not like, do not subscribe, do not tell anyone about the show, do not watch the show. Tune out right now. I hate you guys. You guys are broke pikers, chasers, wannabes, posers, bunch of puffed up D-bags, tiny wings. Know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? No, not really. It's a good audience, Mahir. But I don't monetize the show. I don't do the ads. I don't do the members thing. I don't do the Patreon. Why? Because I don't know anything. I'm not gonna sell you a course. There's other topics that I do know to teach, but tennis and philosophizing, recreating, leisuring, barbecue, anything associated with cooking, I'm qualified to teach. Anything associated with finances, I should be thrown out the back door and beaten with a wet noodle about the face, breast, head, neck, and chest. Oh. Anyway, no, I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't tell people to like. That's not a lurker's job. Of course, he's not paid either. So, oh, it's Chris P90X. What's going on, brother? How's the lap game? What are you doing? You wax in the back, you shave in the back, you got an understanding girlfriend, got to bick that thing for you twice a day and just move right onto your head. Hey, honey, I'm gonna need you to block out 4 or 5 hours today. Honey, you say that every single day. I'm not getting any sleep. I'm failing out of med school. Also, you can hit these poses. Impress the youturders with your broad lats. You're so broad, honey. You can barely fit through the door. Stop doing P90X. You're too broad. I don't know. Oh, Chris from P90X, we've made up a little character for you. Don't take it. I make up backstories for everybody and like random characters based on their avatars, and I do voices about them. I'm a little bit off. Okay, I'm a lot off. Sawed off. Bodies all hauled off. I am trailer trash. Thank you. White trash. That's all I'll ever be. You guys know the song White Trash by Big B. Too late, I hit the like button. My hair. You're one dapper son of a bitch, aren't you? Got a sport coat. Kind of, man, this guy's big leaguing us. What's my hair doing here? It's like he's hitting the Hamptons. It's like he's hitting a day party in the Hamptons or something. Rest of us just sitting around in t-shirts, trying to find 2 nickels to rub together. Mahir's over here living the life. You should have a channel. Give us some tips. How to take a selfie where you look like a boss. On my selfies, I look like I'm, showing people to their seats at a minor league baseball game. You guys know where the snack bar is? Yeah, we got hot dogs and everything. Oh, it's nice that they let him work. I'm not special needs. I'm just fat. We're almost to a point in society where so many people in LA are in shape that like people are thinking I'm special needs because I'm heavy. I have to wear like a leg brace right now. I'm limping. Just assume that I'm special needs. Doesn't bother me. I love special needs people. I'd be like, doesn't it? But when I used to live in like a very gay neighborhood, doesn't it bother you if somebody thinks you're gay? I'm like, no. Nobody ever hits on me, gay or straight. My roommate, they're all straight. They're hitting on them all the time. They're living it up, getting free drinks. I'm over here getting nothing. Gay or straight. I said I'm not gay. I'm not gay, but I'm extremely gay friendly, and I do like to party, or at least I used to. Nothing counts in college, guys. Nothing counts in college. Do over. Asking for a friend. Lights out, nights out. Anyway, guys. You guys ever play Night Crawlers? Charlie Kelly style? Guess what it sounds like? Night Crawlers. Anyway. Let's see. We go to Taco Bell. Take all the hot sauce. Yeah, dude, it's about some fire sauce, Payush. Bring the fire. They like the heat down in Memphis, but they like the sweet heat. Dude, me and Payush should go to Memphis in May. Just eat all the barbecue. That would be awesome. I want to go to Memphis, man. Just eat some barbecue. I want to open a barbecue restaurant. Just get out of this fucking stocks. That's for the birds, guys. You just try to make as much money as you can. Have a fucking giant heart attack and die. What's the point? You got to have a balance, like not a lurker. You get outside, Get some fresh air. You can't just obsess about this stuff. Like, God, I love Tanner, but man, the guy doesn't look like he's been outside. He's doing too much analysis. Then again, all those Canadian guys look awfully white. Dude, Steve had, again, a good article on Meta, if you guys care to read it. He had another great article on SoFi, but he always has really good articles on SoFi. He's like super bullish again, which I love. He was always bullish, but he kind of went from like strong buy to buy. Now he's like strong buy. You don't want to mess with Steve. Guy looks like his head weighs as much as a fucking cannonball from the Civil War. It's like you just, you need your car crushed, sir? Oh no, I got my friend Steve here. This looks like a fucking freight train, man. An intellectual freight train. But anyway, I like people with giant heads where their glasses barely fit. They look really smart. I like celebrities that try to put on glasses and look smart. Ted Danson, Sandy Bullock, America's sweetheart. Was Sandy Bullock married to that motorcycle guy, like some like neo-Nazi tendencies? That was really weird. Jesse James. Is that his real name? People are so weird. You ever notice that? I'm shockingly normal besides my idiotic sense of humor. So boring. Oh, just like this show. Am I right? Am I right? Best place for fish tacos in San Diego. Man, it's been so long. I went to college in San Diego, or La Jolla, more accurately, but of one of the many places I received my useless degrees. But anyway, man, I honestly don't know. There's some pretty good places around me here in the Los Angeles area. But I would have to research that for you because I am no longer a San Diego native. It's been 30 years now. So probably the places I used to go, we were poor. So we go to like Alberto's, get fish tacos there. Some of the hot spots were basically down like by the beaches, Ocean Beach, Pacific Beach, Mission Beach. There's all kinds of little spots and bars down in there with just great fish tacos, all kinds of stuff. So I could definitely research that and get back to you because I would love to take a trip down there and eat me some tacos. Anyway, hold on a sec, guys. Gotta get this. Then I'm gonna wrap this turkey. Oh, sorry about that, guys. Duty calls. I got all kinds of business stuff going on. It's not just my sorry about that, guys. There's some more work scheduled. But anyway, I can't even remember what I was talking about. Yeah, Prairie's an interesting one. IOVA popped today, but I think it's going to be short lived because they're still a long ways from making a profit. The real play there is the pipeline. I mean, if you look at that lung cancer data, and they didn't even hit like the media. They're getting such a prolonged benefit. It's kind of like making the data hard to report on. At least that's the way it was explained to me. I'm not somebody who can understand clinical trial data or any other data for that matter. Got a data set goes right, in one ear and out the other. So anyway, yeah, huge short on the stock. Does that mean it's going to squeeze? Absolutely not. Such a low cap, they can just bludgeon the thing, even if they're going the wrong. See, even if you're out of position, like this SoFi ER, I mean, even if you're out of position, if you have enough money behind you, you can still move the stock. The KBW, and you see what happens. It's kind of like it reverts to where these guys want it. Like Goldman 27, UBS 27, JP Morgan 28. It's being telegraphed, to me. I mean, the bulls, I think, are being more honest with where they think this thing's going. Citi, Truist, Needham, the baby seal, the great touchdown Danny Dolev at Mizuho, the mighty Miz, the old Miz, the old man, Rusty. Sweet. The original Vacation was pretty fucking funny. Let's see who this is. What the fuck? I don't know what the fuck people have so many questions. I have no answers. Like, things happening like, in a week, like what time? I don't know. You want me to give you an exact second? Some fucking guy's gonna show up from 2 hours away to do your fucking plaster? Yeah, and if I give you the time he tells me, he's gonna be, 2 hours late, and then you're gonna be all pissed off. So what good do I tell you? You don't know already. Anyway. Let's see. Oh man, Chris, so disappointing. I was hoping you were Harry. If he's clean, invite him in. No, that's okay. Remember what Biff tried to only wax coat Marty McFly BMW one time? Marty told Biff not to go. And Biff apologized. What's up, man? That's good, Chris. Welcome. You're kind of new here, but you're like, you're super consistent. You're like you're vying for a spot in the Unpoco Moss Hall of Fame, which will go eventually. The SoFi rock opera is so bad. It's just horribly embarrassing. But I was trying to do it, and it's like, oh, it's bad. It's so bad. I had it in Thunderstruck at the beginning. I move into My Chemical Romance, into some Billy Joel. It's awful. It is awful. It's a career ender. It's a black swan event for this channel, but it's probably for the best because I got to get out of this fucking chair before I die. I'm going goggy. I said I'm going goggy. I'm not even going goggy. I'm still sitting at a computer at a desk talking to you turds. What's wrong with me? I have a massive heart attack and die with a bunch of stocks. What good is that? So stupid. So stupid. Anyway, what's going to happen tomorrow? I have absolutely no idea. What happened today? I have absolutely no idea. All I know is Fintech got bent over a barrel for a guided tour of the 50 states. SMCI down. NEO was really all over the place. Up from challenging 750 and then come right back down to 715 and back up to 740, back down. It's all over the place, just absolutely all over the place. Microsoft getting hammered, Google strength, Microsoft weak, Meta is getting hammered. So it's just all over the place. CRISPR was down and then green and then closed slightly red. I don't know if it's doing anything after hours. Yeah, analysts love CRISPR, but doesn't mean the market does. I mean, the thing about CRISPR is they're a long ways from making any real profits. Because the pipeline that pays, that cardiovascular pipeline, that's probably a few years off, probably more like 5. So, the market likes to come in. The market likes investing like market makers that just what's called just in time, like inventory, how you don't hold inventory anymore. It just comes just in time. It's dropped. It's all, run by AI and algos and barcodes and RFID tags and all this stuff. You don't need a big warehouse anymore. They drop it right to you every day, exactly what you need. That's how Wall Street likes to. They don't like to hold a bunch of inventory. They don't like to put their money in SoFi and then hold for 4 or 5 years before the thing moves an inch. Well, they got a bunch of opportunity costs and, all kinds of tiny wing issues going on. No, they like to come in right when it's in the 7 going to 30 because they know where it's going because they move the market. Don't you see? It's like Tony Soprano says, see, don't you see? It was Puppy Papazzero the whole time. Don't you see? Where's the gabagoo? Always like so annoyed people don't see. See, don't you see? It's pussy the whole time. Father, I'll have you know that Vito Spatafor is a married man. Yeah, well, Finson blowing a security guard. Oh, Dad. Meadow. Anyway. I have no idea. Anything or small wings or qualified to comment. Oh, doesn't necessarily take one to know one, but I know my way around a manageable wing. No doubt in that. I'm living the dad life. This is an old pic when I used to work at JP Morgan. Oh, nice. I love JP Morgan. Got my main nest egg at JP Morgan. Private bank. Always shocks them when I look like a slob and come in. They're like looking at me like, is this computer right? I'm like, yeah, it's right. I'm kind of a big deal. Tomorrow I got people who look like Mandami coming over to MoMA for my bushes. What? Payush, you're crazy, man. I don't know. He's a pretty good looking guy, man. I mean, like I said, I'm not gay. I'm very gay friendly, but I don't know. Got a good smile. I don't know. I'm not like a socialist or anything, believe me, but I got a lot of votes. Just backlash. Like politics is like the markets. It swings very far the other way, overreacts. But that's what I was talking about. Like, I think people really underestimate this impact of like the Democrats winning every election and like winning elections in, red districts and stuff. It's like, because, what does fintech feed on is like lack of regulation. Let crypto go. Let, more people have bank charter, all this deregulation and, crypto friendly. That's extremely bullish for fintech. It lets them grow, unbridled. I don't know if that's the right word. Untethered, unbound, unburdened, unfettered. I can't think of anything else. So yeah, I guess think people are just worried, like if all these plans, what if all these plans you're making and then a new administration comes in and changes everything and you put the CF, I know obviously Trump's for another 3 years, and I personally don't think, I don't think his numbers are as bad as people think, honestly. I think he skews lower in these polls because like so much like backlash and embarrassment and different stuff. But I think a lot of people agree with him on policy. They just wish it was like a different person implementing the policy. It just didn't have so much baggage. It was like, okay, how are you going to regulate crypto when your own family is making billions of dollars off of these crypto scams? Trump WorldCoin. Maybe it's not a scam. I don't know. It seems like a scam. I mean, anytime people just manufacture these vast sums of money, like these SPAC guys, these SPAC vampire shares, like you're not doing anything. Oh, I took the company public. I did some paperwork. I raised some money from Mon Pa Kettle, Joe Sixpack. That gives you hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah, put the deal together. It's a finder's fee. You seen how many shares Chamath has? I don't think Chamath is any kind of genius. I just think he's a scam artist kind of. No, I mean, allegedly. Most of this stuff he served up has been, most of these SPACs he served up has fallen to garbage territory. But he's had a couple of winners. Sofi being a huge winner. But yeah, up a little bit after hours, 32 cents. Obviously, I don't think it's going to recover like $30 tomorrow, but maybe 28. We just have to see. I mean, it all depends. You see the chart just is an amplified version of the overall market with these two pumps in the middle that were just, this is complete psychological warfare. They're drawing you in only to stop you out later in the day. Give you a nice 15% intraday loss. Day loss. Anyway, guys, this show's terrible. I was trying to get to the end of the comments, but I don't think I can. Financial Seth Rogen without the incense company. Carl Seamark is here. We all get free matches. Yep, the mark of quality, Carl Seamark. Whether it's inner spring, outer spring, you don't want an outer spring mattress. Poke you right in the ass. Let me tell you, I bought one of those on a discount. Big mistake. So what's an outer spring mattress? They'll lay down. Wow, pinched my balls. Well, that comes in for free. It's an added bonus. I don't know what this show is, but I don't either, man. Show's fucking terrible. Jarrett Matson is here, and he likes the party as well. Dude has long hair and a good attitude. I like it. Chris Flow, Danny Deals, the Rain Man, I'm making it rain. Big number 2 Industries, thumbs up for the locker room and a motivational tool. Wet and dry ribs, absolutely. I don't need a crutch. I don't need to. I make good barbecue sauce, but everybody overcooks ribs. For God's sake, falling off the bone. It's not falling off the bone. It's mush. It's mush. And you don't steam a rib. I don't even need to wrap a rib because I can control my temperature, my cooking time, my tenderness. I can control it all. I can cook a brisket without wrapping it. I can cook anything perfectly without wrapping it. I don't even need to brine my poultry. I mean, I do, but I don't need to, but I do. Corky's Barbecue Century. I've seen it on TV, Payush. Oh, man. I want to do it. Rendezvous, Tops. Oh, man. You're killing me. You're killing me. How'd you know I like baked beans, potato salad, coleslaw, and especially mac and cheese, Payush? What, are you reading my mind? What, are you going through my garbage? How'd you know I like mac and cheese? Because I'm chunky. Yes, it is. Tanner is a vampire. You haven't figured that out yet? Yeah, that's funny. Now Tanner's up. People are like, oh, you don't, they were saying like, because I was saying don't buy Bitminer when everybody was saying that, Tevis and Tanner, I think amongst others, were saying even was Roy pumping Bitminer. They're saying buy anything at 60. I was like, don't buy here, man. Who's Tom Lee? What does Tom Lee know about Ethereum? He's a talking head. I mean, he's a very smart guy. I'm not saying he's not, but does he know something about the mechanics of crypto and how it's mined and how it's, people are saying, oh, it's software, it's guardrails, it's transactions. I'm like, I don't doubt Ethereum has value in use cases. I'm just saying this notion that, oh, if they control 5% of Ethereum, they're going to win the magic set of steak knives and the pearly gates. It's not going to happen, guys. It could still crash. You're going to corner the market. I don't know. I'm not saying it's not a good buy here, but I'm saying when everything is at maximum hype and everybody wants the same asset and it's like the flavor of the month, it's a very dangerous thing to chase that in because now you would have lost 33% of your money, if you bought, which I hope you didn't, but I know a lot of you did because you listen to those guys as gospel. And I mean, everybody else was saying the same thing. And this is it's an echo chamber. YouTube is an echo chamber. And people that, were once disciplined, you can get a little bit loose because it's hard not to keep up with the latest stuff. And if everybody's chasing something, I want to chase it too. But you have to be disciplined in this game. You have to be very, very disciplined. You have to say no. And you have to say, okay, that one ran away from me. But I didn't like the valuation. I didn't like the timing. I didn't like the hype. I didn't like the pressure. If you feel intense pressure to buy something or, oh, I'm going to miss out right away, maybe don't buy that thing because your motivation is wrong. It's not rational. It's not long-term. It's not based on fundamentals. It's not based on great management. It's based on some guy, from the TV, telling you to buy it because he's going to personally make a bunch of money. You think Tom Lee paid for all his shares? Full price like you, full boat? You think he's paying $60 a share? Please. Don't be stupid, man. This works the same way with SPACs. He probably got, $100 million worth of free shares. I don't know, allegedly. I'm just talking out of my ass, of course. What else is new? Am I right? Am I right? But then SoFi back up 1%. They're going to hold it. It's algo held. But volume's strong, guys. 87 million. That is ideal bullish volume. Now, in this case, it seems to be ideal bearish volume. But I'm just not worried about SoFi. I think, what I would really like to see is just more guidance raises, more guidance, more aggressive guidance, more accurate guidance, higher guidance. Anyway, so I keep trying to get to the end of these comments, but you guys are making me all dude, it used to be a 70s porn stash. Now it's like a mountain man, it's like a mountain man stash. All right, Payush, you do good. I hope it's barbecue, man. Stubby Cohiba is getting cornbread. I ate Mama Fish House, Maui. Oh man, I love Maui, Payush. I love Maui. Go again very, very soon. I might move to Maui. That would be badass. Probably, they say you get sick of it in a year or two. Then you lose all your money trying to get rid of your condo or whatever. From what I gather, you could treat this entire street to Mama's Fish House plus drinks. Yeah. Payush has got so much SoFi money. It's absolutely ridiculous. This is the mayor of Memphis, by the way. Some people in 2020 was getting a SoFi 4 or 5 range. He is getting a Palantir 6 and hood. Yeah, man, that's nice. That is absolutely brilliant, Payush. Good for you. Michael Patella. Somebody kneecapped him. No, little patella humor. You know what I mean? South Beach Bar and Grill and Ocean Beach. Ah, there you go. Yeah, he knows the spots. He knows the spots. This time, let's put that up on the big board. Good fish taco recommendation is absolutely priceless. This type of market comes around every 20 years. Tennis Champ 10. Damn, you're right. I got mixed up and forgot the name of the one in ST, but yes, I want that place in Maui. Last time it came out, it was when Google was 100 at IPO. Fish tacos. Great Billy Jack is here. The Great Billy Jack. Welcome. Hello, Billy Jack. Payush. So much Payush. He's a volume shooter, folks, like the great Michael Jordan. Or DeMarcus Cousins. Let's see. Not to be confused with Dickie Simpkins, the creator. Let's see. I hear you, brother. I loaded up between 4 and 8 on SoFi, writing calls. There you go. Chris is absolutely winning in the game of life before any splits. Chris, Payush talking to each other, blah, 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 blah. I gotta skip all these. It just goes too long. Anybody else? We got OVS 4744. I was on his blood pressure medication. He could take it up from his doctor. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. The great Jeff Presley. Everything was oversold today. That's why, I mean, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, you saw him. You saw once it bottomed out here, Jeff. I mean, you saw once it hit about 28, got a little bit under 28. There was this long period of consolidation, very low volume. It stayed basically from 28 to 28 for like several hours. And then they really hit it again at the end of the day. But it's on this 45-degree angle algo hold. This is not like a spontaneous. Retail is not dumping. And that was the other thing I was going to mention, guys. Finally, this is out. Institutional ownership, another all-time high. Last 3 months, all-time high. And this time it ticked up even more than last time. So, and this is borne out in the filings. I'm not going to go through every single one, but you see, one red Bader Bank selling out, and then all the rest of these are new positions, greens. And then most of these companies are increasing their position last quarter. And last quarter, the stock, you guys remember the stock was up very significantly already last quarter. So, if you go back to like a 1 year, last quarter starts July. So you're starting here at 17, and then, you're going all the way up to, June, July. How many months is that? 1, 2, 3. So you're ending here at the beginning of October. You've gone all the way up to 30 in that quarter, in Q3. So you think if they're going to dump, they would have dumped. They've already just gone from, right here in the 8s. I mean, this stock was in the 8s in April. And people, are like complaining that we're retracing from 31 down to 27. It's not a big deal. It made a 400+% move. It made like a 350% move in 7 months, 6 months. They don't go up forever. This is how price action works. This is healthy price action. It's artificial price action, but I think it's the same people who've just been dumping shares since the ER. They've got to decide, are they going to short this stock? I don't think so. Are they going to really start shorting it again? Because I think it's going up. I think it's going up, up, and up from here. And I think it's going to be more and more and more techy, and it's going to be more obvious they're quickly evolving into a tech company and away from sort of these brick and mortar, not brick and mortar, but bread and butter banking, because they're still going to do all the banking stuff. They're still going to do all the lending stuff, the credit cards, all that stuff. It's going to make them a bunch of money. It's going to make us a bunch of money. But I just don't see what people see of this valuation is overheated at all. I mean, with everything these guys have accomplished, the growth coming off of the SPAC, 27. And you could talk about the multiples, but again, if you are realistic about CAGR, you're realistic about year-on-year growth. Most of the time target prices, they used to talk about them being a 1-year target price. I don't know. I don't think they're really doing that anymore. I think it's more like a snapshot. But these analysts that are 27, 28, sort of the tepid bears, I mean, they grow the top line again next year, 36%. EPS is going to grow even faster. I mean, EPS 11 cents. I think, I think next quarter they're going to make 15 cents. And I think they're going to be on track to do this dollar before you know it. They make 15 cents. I think it can go to 20 very, very quickly. Very quickly. I think we might be close to 20 cents Q1 2026. They're adding extremely high quality members all the time at SoFi. Every single day. Every single day, there's almost 10,000 new members coming on board. High quality members, and there's more cross-selling, lowering the customer acquisition cost or the product acquisition cost anymore. But the cross-selling has not really heated up. Interest rates haven't fallen that far, and the economy is looking to be weakening. So, in other words, I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen, but one thing is for sure: tomorrow the stock will be either up, down, or it will move sideways. Not a lurker will be bald. I will be chunky, and life will go on. So, guys, it's Un Poco Mas. If you need good fish tacos, South Beach Bar and Grill in Ocean Beach. If you need good barbecue, go see the mayor of Memphis, Mr. Payush. He's the man to see. And if you need anything else, you talk to Not a Lurker, or if you can find me, you can talk to me. I'm like the A-team. You ain't going to find me. I like Hannibal, B.A. Baracus, Face. What was the other guy? There was Hannibal, B.A. Baracus, Face, and then who was that weird guy? Morgan, or I can't remember. He was like the mechanic guy. I think he might have been the pilot guy too. Or no, Face was the pilot. I can't remember. Mr. T drove the van. Friday sell-off unless government sue for a lifetime Raider tickets. Probably a good decision, Jeep, Mr. Mopar. Probably a very good decision. Aunt Kathy selling out for some junk. Yeah, I mean, she sells moves though. She sells big moves, and that's okay. It's like Kramer. I think it's going to rest, then it's going to go higher. Of course, it crashes the next day. This is a big turd of a candle right here. Big turd. You notice what's interesting is the stock actually made a higher high than what happened to this candle yesterday, than Monday, or then that would be Tuesday. It's just very interesting range how they trading this thing. Today was a real fugazi, those two push ups and then push down. But anyway, guys, this show has gone on literally forever, and it has been horrible. And I don't know how you're still watching it. Your perseverance, your courage, and your just general stupidity are astonishing. But like I said, when you got a tiny wing, every single problem looks like a hammer. So go forth with your tiny wings proudly and conquer the world, guys. Take it over. You have my blessing. Un Poco Mas. Yar. Thanks, Not a Lurker. Appreciate you, buddy.